Hi everyone, so I thought I'd do a video on the aftermath of the rain and the storms that we've been having. So it hasn't been as bad as I thought, but there has been some extremely heavy rain. So I thought I'd show you how everything's holding up afterwards. So here we have the Generous Gardener, which actually, it's not done too bad. I know that this one can be quite prone to shattering, but I'm quite impressed with how it's held up. I haven't had that I can see any balling up of the flowers. They seem fairly okay. They're still opening and it does still smell wonderful out here actually. So this is the Generous Gardener, and I've said before this doesn't get that much sun, sort of maybe 4 hours of morning sun. Okay, and then if we go over here, this is a new rose which I'm absolutely blown away by. Now this one I can't speak to how well it does in the water, in the rain, because I did cover it up because this is a new rose and I really wanted to see the blooms. This is White Parfum de Provence, so it's the white version of the Sweet Parfum de Provence I believe, and look at the size of that. Look, absolutely huge, really large, deeply cut flowers with a really strong fragrance. It's by Mayond and it's just amazing. I'm really impressed. I mean, here's another one which does have a little bit of, which is sometimes why people don't like white roses, because you have that browning sometimes, but the smell's really lovely. It almost reminds me, it's quite fresh and herbaceous maybe. It reminds me of that really nice smell when you grow fresh tomatoes and then you pick them, and then the smell of that, the stalk, it kind of reminds me of that, but maybe slightly sweeter. But it's really lovely, and it's supposed to do quite well in less sun. Really pretty blue-green foliage, so I would really recommend this one. I think it might also be known as, there's a few different names, it can be a bit confusing. It might be known as White Emma, and I get confused between this one and another one I'm going to show you because they have different names. I'll try and put it on the screen, the different names afterwards. So that's your White Parfum de Provence. Carpet roses, pretty tough. They hold up quite well. So Madame Anisette starting to open up, but nothing, no balling that I can see. And this one is White Parfumella, excuse me, which is again by Mayond, and it's supposed to have very strong fragrance. It's got a smaller flower but a bit more taller than the White Parfum de Provence. It's not quite as impressive, and it has taken a while to open up. It's got a little bit of rain damage here, but there is a lot of petals. This is one that I did, it's been exposed to a little bit of rain, as you can see. Hopefully they open up okay, but again, a lovely rose. I have started to really like white roses and Mayond roses in particular. So you can see there, just really beautiful. And then I've got hydrangeas at the back there which will be coming out in the next month or two. Novalis not really doing much at the moment. We've got, look at all the carnage of the rain, all the petals. Minerva, so this Minerva's actually done really well in the rain. No balling that I can see, still opening really well. And it's been raining a lot, it hasn't been sunny, but the smell out here is still wonderful. So Minerva has held up okay. Eustacia Vi, I'm quite surprised at Eustacia Vi because it does shatter quite easily, but it smells so amazing here. I wish you could smell it. But anyway, Eustacia Vi has held up well. It has been raining every single day, and some of the rain has been absolutely pelting down, but it's holding up well. Look at these here. Gosh, so beautiful. And again, just big flowers. they don't last a super long time, but it's a workhorse. It does really well. Unfortunately, this Minerva has really flopped. You can see some rain damage there actually, or is it just going over? But the flowers themselves, I think the flowers themselves have held up okay in the rain. It's not massively packed with petals, if you see. It looks so much more purple in person. It looks really pink on camera, but in person it's definitely more of a mauve colour. Spicy Parfuma is taking its time. Here we have Bliss Parfuma. Doesn't look like it's balling up, and we've had rain frequently every day. What's this one? Lady Gardener. So you can see, I love this rose from David Austin, the Lady Gardener. It's that more apricot colour as it opens, big flowers, and then it does fade to a more pinky colour. But again, no balling, doing really well. This is Pacific Blue, otherwise known as Hopes and Dreams. This one again, because I do love this rose, it is very highly fragranced. And because I really wanted to see the flowers and I was worried about balling, I did cover these up as well, so I can't give you an accurate description of how they deal with the rain, although there is a little bit of, I didn't cover them that well obviously because there is some browning, but it just smells incredible. And I love that lilac-y colour. One thing I can show is, because I just covered up the blooms, not the actual plant, they have flopped. This one's almost broken, but it's still going, but it is completely flopped, so the stems don't particularly hold the weight very well. Here we have Timeless Cream, which I was going to get rid of this because I don't like the habit. The one I've got in particular, it's really open in the base for some reason, and then the flowers would go really out. And I've tried pruning it differently, but anyway, and it doesn't have that much fragrance, but actually these flowers have just been out in the rain and they are beautiful, really pure apricot colour. So quite impressed with that, and I might have to keep it and find some space for it somewhere. Emily Bronte seems to be okay. I think, there's a lot of petal fall from the rain, but not too bad. Everything's upright, which I think is a win. Chandos Beauty, it's starting to open, which is a good sign, so not balling. Minerva Standard Tree Rose, actually done well. No balling. I think that's the thing with being in England. There's rain so much of the time that when you have roses that are susceptible to balling, it's just really disappointing. I'll show you my Princess Alexandra of Kent's in a minute, and they've been ravaged by the rain. This is Roald Dahl. So I mentioned this one, I think in my last video, saying it's too yellow and I might get rid of it, but it has been really beautiful and I might have to change my mind. Maybe I should do a dedicated spot for yellow roses, but more sort of light yellow rather than anything too vibrant. But yeah, held up really good in the rain. And if we go over here, so we've got, now this one again, so I know I've said I'm going to be telling you how the rain affects the roses, but this is one that I had to cover up as well, because this is Comte de Chambord. This is the parent rose to Gertrude Jekyll, and it hates the rain. It always seems to bloom exactly when the rain starts, sort of early June. That keeps happening in the UK the last few years, and then it gets ruined, and it will ball up really easily. So I did cover this one, but from my experience every year, if it does get, you can see if there's some water that might have got in there. Here you can see that damage. It does ball up very easily, So that's why I covered it, because I've seen it ruined every year. It has a really strong fragrance. It's very, very healthy. And it does look a lot like Gertrude Jekyll. Natasha Richardson, again, the roses that aren't packed with petals, they do seem to handle the rain better, for obvious reasons, you know, that the petals don't get stuck together and fail to open. But Natasha Richardson, doing really well in the rain. Olivia Rose at the back needs deadheading really, but there's some discoloration on there. We go over. So it's got that rain damage, but if I go over to these ones which are opening, newer ones are opening without any trouble. So, I mean, if anyone else has any experience with Olivia Rose and whether it balls or not, let me know, but at the moment it's seeming okay. We have another Eustacia Vi here, which doesn't seem to be having any problems opening. Gosh, look at this massive bramble. I need to get rid of that. I haven't been out here for a while because of the weather. Ancient Mariner, but this one might have gone over now. If I touch it, is it going to shatter? Yes. Oh, okay. It looks like it's still opening, but we'll see. I think I might have some footage of this one in bloom the other day. And then Silas Marner has flopped in true Silas Marner fashion. So the rain does weigh it down, and it's not really strong, this plant in my view. We have Coco Loco, so just not many blooms on this. It doesn't get that much sun. I think it might need a bit more sun than I give it, which is about 4 hours of afternoon, sun from midday. But the colour is beautiful. And it's held up well in sun. It had just opened when all the rain started, so it's flopped a bit. It was more upright, but it's handled the rain quite well. Bonica Rose, I wasn't expecting that to really have any issues. Maybe slightly flopping, but just a really lovely rose. And then we've got, this is Aphrodite, which is a lot more peachy coral than I remember it being, but it's gorgeous. That's opening really well. That was probably more like this when the rains was due, and it's rained every day since for days now, and it's doing well. And here is, didn't notice these, Ice Vogel. This is opening up well. I do really love this rose. I'll try and show it you when it's open in full. It's so ruffled, you can see. But that's done really well. This has like a coppery centre usually, and it's quite pink. We've got Summer Romance just starting to open up. Not looking too bad. Hopefully it opens up okay. And then, yes, so Princess Alexandra of Kent does not like the rain, but more so because they're so huge, massive blooms. They just hold so much water that it weighs down the plants, so they've all flopped. They've still opened okay. They're not balling, so it doesn't mind the rain, I think, in terms of balling, but it's just the sheer weight of the water on the blooms. So really I should come in here and stake it, I think, at some point. And then this is a rose which is incredible. It's very healthy and strong and does really well, and the blooms last for ages. It's strong fragrance, it's old port. They're just really on these upright tall stems, almost looks like a florist rose. They have a nice bright pink. So they start off more of a bright pink and then get this white tinge on the outer petals, which I do actually really like. It's just very healthy. I need to come in and do some deadheading as well. Yeah, it's Princess Alexandra of Kent has opened quite well still. Just a shame about the wait. Lastly, I think I can probably show you Giardina. So these have been here for ages. The blooms last forever, but they are very water damaged now, and they bleached in the sun when when we had the heat wave. They really bleached, and they're still opening now without issue really. You can see, but then they are water damaged, and this cane did really flop, and I had to support it. So I think what shall I leave you with? I think the rose that has just blown me away today, and I'm so happy that I bought, is this one, the White Parfum de Provence. It's just so impressive. And I can't wait for one day for it to get bigger and there to just be many blooms. So I'll leave you with that. White Parfum de Provence. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely week. Okay, so just some bonus footage here of the roses a few days before the rain. This is Old Port, so looking vibrant with that white outer petal edge. Princess Alexandra of Kent, probably my most favourite rose this year, just looking really upright and beautiful. We've got Bonica, which I newly planted, and just looking forward to watching that grow. Next we have Coco Loco, so this was just before the rain and it did continue to open. Silas Mana, so looking more upright, not floppy, fairly small flowers but doing well before the rain. And Ancient Mariner, which is just a beautiful flower, it really is. So Natasha Richardson as well, which it doesn't really have any issues with the rain. It is a workhorse of a rose, quite large. And then Comte de Chambord, where you can really see it looking like Gertrude, and just you can see there's just no rain damage and it's just looking healthy. And this is Roald Dahl, so as you can see it's a little bit more yellow, so I was a little bit unsure about whether or not I wanted to keep it, but let me know what you think. Should I keep her or should I get rid because she doesn't match the theme? Minerva, no problems with Minerva in the rain. And Emily Bronte, so you can see it has that more antique pink with a slightly yellow centre. It does bleach out to that more white colour which you saw in the video earlier. And here we've got Bliss Parfuma and the Lady Gardener, more Minerva and Eustacia Val before all the petals fell. But it doesn't have that much damage, to be honest, and it does shatter quite easily, but I was quite impressed. And Minerva, so it is quite a good rose with the rain, I think. I didn't really have any issues with balling. And just another little look at Aphrodite, which has again, this is today, but it just had opened up really more, and I just wanted to show you how beautiful it is. Thank you for watching.